Hi guys, on today's episode of About Months, we're going to go through the Europa League final from last night between Man United and Tottenham Hotspurs. First of all, before I start, I'm just going to ask anyone watching this video, please go into the subscribe button and click onto the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. So, let's get started. First of all, I would like to congratulate Tottenham Hotspurs for yesterday's victory over Man United. They deserved it overall, I felt. Over the course of the game, I felt like Man United had the ball, but we didn't really push to the stage where I felt like we're actually going to get a goal. I know Højlund had a header where Van der Ven cleared off the line, but that's the only clear chance I can remember us having. Maybe the Bruno diving header. Apart from that, I don't really remember us having creating any real chance. And I want to touch up on the Tottenham coach first of all. And congratulations to Ange as well. He did say he was going to win something. He always wins something in the second season, which he accomplished. Fair play to him. And what I know I said he was a little bit condescending previously, but I would also like to say he was very humble in his he was very humble after winning yesterday. He could have been one of the managers where when you make a big statement like I always win something my second season, you go into the press conference then just bragging about winning something. Kudos to him. I was very impressed by the way he carried himself yesterday. Big fan of Ange. As always, and congratulations to all the Tottenham fans as well. I have a couple of friends who are Tottenham fans, which I know they're gonna slag me over the next couple of weeks. But look, if it was the other way around as well, I'll be slagging them as well and boasting about United winning. So that's gonna be all on Tottenham. So I'm gonna go through. I want to go to I want to talk about Man United right now. So in regards to Man United, I felt when I started starting 11, I was talking to a couple of my friends. I did tell them that I don't trust that start 11. I felt that was a wrong team straight away because I felt throughout the year, I know as much as Garnacho is wasteful, he's only 20 years old, but there's something about him. He brings a spark when he's in the game most of the time. I felt he's had a relatively good season, and I was so disappointed seeing him getting dropped. I know the way Garnacho is, he's a young player. His head is going to be all over the place. Even after the game, you saw the interview he gave. He was so disappointed. But I think that's to be expected with a young player. You don't like. Not every young player would have that. It would have the sense to carry themselves in a very humble way. But at the same time, I feel like players like him have to have a little bit of arrogance about them. The way Garnacho plays, you have to have a little bit of arrogance about them. I see a lot of my United fans complain about him saying he's very arrogant and this and that with the way with the comment he made. I believe you're a 20-year-old guy. I felt he had a good season. He's basically been with us most of the year. To be fair to him, he hasn't been injured. He's been very fit. And then you get dropped in the final for someone like Mason Mount, which is very disappointing. I used to like Mason Mount when he played at Chelsea, but ever since he got to United, there hasn't been any evidence there that he was good enough to start in that final. I made that very clear to a couple of people I was talking to right before, after the lineup was announced. I felt United should have went with the team that actually got them to the final, which was Onana. Depending if Dallo was fit, right wing back or Mazraoui, and the three centre half, whoever was fit. Basically, I wanted Maguire, Euro, and maybe whoever was fit, Luke Shaw. And by the way, Luke Shaw didn't look fit at all. I've never seen a footballer that's been professional for that many years look completely out of shape as well. He looked like he was carrying a bit of weight, which I know I've ranted about this so much in the past couple of weeks about professional athletes not being in the best condition. Like, that's your job. That's the one thing you have to do. How aren't you in a better condition? How aren't you in good shape? You're getting paid 100. No matter if you're getting paid 100,000 or just a couple of grand, that's your job. You prepare, like, you get everything. There's a gym you can get a gym at home. There's a gym in the club. You can get private chef. And how the hell do you used to look fat after over like 10 professional years of playing football? It honestly does not make sense to me whatsoever. Luke Shaw is very good technically, but my goodness, the chap his mentality is absolutely terrible. He literally cannot stay fit to save his life, and I don't think he's a model footballer where he actually stays in shape and looks after himself off the pitch, which is not a good trait to have around a club, in my opinion. And then obviously I went to left back. Dorgo, still a young player. I felt he did okay. Could have done better, but you give him a pass. A young player, he tried his best. You can tell he was trying his best up there. And the midfield, I said, they should have been Ugarte and Casemiro, but for some reason, the idiot Amarin pushed Bruno deep with Casemiro. As soon as I saw that, I was like, that's not going to work. When he first came to United, he was doing that, Bruno and Casemiro very deep. There's no creativity at all when Bruno's playing that deep, because I feel with Bruno Fernandes, He can be very wasteful at times. He can lose the ball at times, but that's what creative players do. You look at Lamine Yamal. You look at all the great creative players. They lose the ball a good bit because they try things that other people don't try. They try the spectacular passes most of the time. If you just want to play safe, then you're like Tony Cruz. You get your 95% passing accuracy by doing 5-yard passes, or you, like Declan Rice by doing 5-yard passes. That's not what Bruno Fernandes is about. That's why I like Bruno Fernandes. He's a player who would take risks. I love players who take risks on the football pitch. They're very exciting players to watch. Players like wingers or attacking midfielders. Those are my favorite type of players to watch. Players who take risks, goal players, make difficult passes, try to make special passes to open up the play. And there was a lot of criticism of Bruno last night. He did lose the ball a good bit, but I felt he should have been playing a lot higher. There was one stage there where we were a goal down. Bruno was one of our deepest players, which I couldn't for the life of me understand. And then obviously we had the 3 forwards in Ahmad, Højlund and Mason Mount. I like Ahmad. Ahmad's a brilliant player, exciting player to watch, but he's been out injured for most of the season. So in my opinion, Ahmad, like I said in the preview before the game, I said Ahmad should have been brought on. Ahmad should have been brought on maybe in the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Fresh legs against the defender. You can see in the first 25 minutes, it was over. It was taking players on, getting balled into the box. I felt we could have used that in the last 25 minutes rather than the first 25 minutes of the game. And then Mason Mount. Well, I don't know what to say about Mason Mount. I already went through at the start of the video. He shouldn't have started yesterday. Maybe you bring Mason Mount on when you're winning, and you need someone to cover a lot of ground for you. But Mason Mount shouldn't have started. And that's on the manager as well. Like managers put you out there. I know you have the responsibility to play well for the manager. But if something isn't going right, it's on to the manager to make the change straight away. Like this is a final. This is a European final. You wait till late in the second half to make a change. When you see Spurs went to goal up, and you can see Spurs just want to sit back and defend. Spurs had no intent of going up front, going forward anymore after they got the goal, and that's what I liked about Ange last night. I've always seen Ange go all out for the game, even when you're 1-0, 2-0 up, he's still going out attacking. But he realizes it's a cup final. You do what you have to do in cup finals to win the game. Like cup finals is not about how you play; it's about winning. Fuck your philosophy. Cup final is about how you play, how you win. Sorry, if you don't win a cup final, what's the point of playing good football if you're not going to win a cup final? Your philosophy is you can stick to your philosophy, but at the same time you have to make in-game adjustment. That's what I find baffling about Amorim. For a guy who has been successful so much in Portugal, that highly rated coach, he doesn't have the sense to actually make in-game changes, which is baffling to me. Like, are you stubborn or are you stupid? Like, I completely don't understand why he didn't make in-game changes yesterday. At one stage there, I think even late on in the game, we still had 5 defenders on the pitch, and your goal down in the European Cup final, you still had 5 defenders on the pitch. Like, if that was Ferguson or if that was Ferguson back in the day, Ferguson would have thrown every single striker on the bench, every single midfielder on the bench, and maybe kept 1 defender on the pitch to try to get the goal back. Like, it's a cup final. You have to do anything. You have to do whatever it takes to win. Ange made the change. He just sat back, and that's not Ange's style. Ange likes attacking, going all out every single game. But he realized the cup final. He literally just got his team to sit back, which I found very very sensible from Ange. Whereas Amorim, he just kept United. It was one of the most boring games I've ever watched. It reminds me a lot of the Liverpool and the Spurs Champions League final a couple of years ago that Liverpool won. It was just one team just passing the ball from side to side. Spurs just sat back in a low block, and Man United couldn't break them down. And I felt that the responsibility was on Bruno to try and break Man United down, because that's our captain. That's our most creative player. And like, I'm a big Bruno fan, but I did feel like I had a poor game yesterday. But at the same time, the other players around him also played very poor. But you are the captain, and I think it falls on you on the player part. And that's my point about Bruno. Bruno's my favorite Man United player. It used to be Rashford till Rashford got sold. Bruno's my favorite Man United player now. However, I felt like he just had to be better yesterday. Unfortunately, it wasn't Man United's day, but I felt this all literally started from the manager down. If you pick a team like that, the players, like, I think it's not good enough for Ahmad and Mason Mount that we have for most of the year, and you stack them. Like, it just doesn't look good, in my opinion anyways. It doesn't look good in my opinion. I felt Garnacho should have started. When Garnacho came on, he made a little bit of impact. And I'm a big fan of Garnacho. The chap is only 20 and it gets killed by most of my United fans saying it's very wasteful. Of course it's wasteful. It's a 20-year-old. Like most 20-year-olds aren't the finished product. Obviously you get the once in a lifetime generational players like Messi. Even Ronaldo wasn't that great at 20. Like he was very good, but it wasn't that great at 20. You get Ronaldo, Messi, you get Lamine Yamal, you get Mbappe. Those are once in a lifetime generational players. Garnacho is not at that level. Garnacho can be a very, very, very good player. I'm a big fan of Garnacho. I feel if Man United let him go, it's going to be a big mistake because he's that type of player that bring in a spark in games. I'm a big fan of Garnacho. I'm a big fan of Garnacho. Also a big fan of Ahmad, but I felt like he should have been brought on in the last maybe 25 to 20 minutes because he looked completely gassed after the first half an hour, to be honest with you. I feel like Højlund, as much as we kill Højlund for being terrible, it's down to the manager as well for continuously picking him in games. People say he has no other option. What about play false nine? You know what I mean? Honestly, it would be a better option to play false nine or to bring in a U player in that position. Give them a try. Let's see what they have. Play Bruno false nine. Play Ahmad false nine. Play Garnacho in there. Do something different. Like that's why I don't get you can see how bad Højlund is. His confidence is completely gone. I think Højlund is a physically gifted player, and when he first came to United, I thought he was going to be a brilliant player. To be honest with you, because from what I saw, he suited the Premier League style, physical centre forward. Well, I thought he could hold the ball up. He obviously clearly can't. But I thought he was a good striker of the ball. He has a good striker of the ball as well. So I'm just a bit confused. I think his confidence is completely gone. I think he needs to leave the club, go out on loan. Like, see what happened to Anthony. Anthony's doing well in Spain right now. Maybe the Spanish game would suit Højlund, or maybe he should go back to Italy, where the game might something better. Not everyone's just the Premier League. He could go to a different club and could play really, really well, you know. And also, in regards to Amorim, I'm in two minds here because I feel he's a very good coach. Obviously, you can't be a bad coach if you've had that much success in terms of I know it's only the Portuguese league, but it's still the Portuguese league. You still won a league title, and they did really well in the Champions League when he was there, especially this season. This season just gone before he came to Man United, they did really well. I think they beat Man City twice, didn't they? I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure they beat Man City. I remember a time before I came to Man United, his last game, he beat Man City, he beat Pep, and I feel he's a good coach, but he's just too stubborn. Right now, we're not in the Champions League. We're going to finish maybe 16 or 17 in the Premier League. I don't think we're going to have the money to actually buy enough players that he would like for his type of players. Because we did the exact same thing with Erik ten Hag, and that messes up big time. Like, Erik ten Hag brought in his type of players, and that honestly set us back so many years. And in like Onana, Onana is probably one of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen as well. Like Onana, Højlund, and what I noticed about Erik ten Hag, he sold most of our physically gifted players, and he brought in technicians. Like in the Premier League, you need a good mix of both. Like you see, the best teams in the Premier League have very good physical traits around the team, and obviously you need the game changers, the technically gifted players as well. However, I believe in the Premier League, you do need more physical players around your team, sprinkling around your team, and you might need one or two game changers that are incredibly good technically as well. And Man United right now, I honestly, apart from Bruno and Ahmad, I don't see anyone. Anyone in that category at the moment with Man United. I think it's going to be a long way back for Man United. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, fire the coach," and I'm not going to sit here saying you should keep the coach. If I had to pick, I probably would fire Amorim because he hasn't given me any evidence that he can actually turn things around. You've had a couple of months. I know you have to work with players that aren't your players, but at the same time, you've seen Slot go into Liverpool and do it. You've seen the Wolves manager go into Wolves and done a better job than you. They've gained more points than you have since he got to Wolves. Like, you just have to do better. There's no excuse for not doing better with that. That Man United team is not a 17 or 16 best team in the Premier League. It should be minimum top 10. And I say probably you look like that. Those players can probably, with a good coach and good manager, will probably get you top 7, top 6. In my opinion, obviously we need to buy a couple of more players, but at the same time, the manager needs to be better. In my opinion, I was very disappointed last night with the way the game turned out. It was just we're doing the same thing over and over again. We didn't go for the game. Like it felt like the players had no clear instruction, or that there was no conviction. Whatever we did last night, whatever Man United did last night, there was literally no conviction whatsoever, which is very disappointing because it's a cup final. Like this is the European Cup final. Like some of the players experienced in 2021 when we lost to Villarreal, and I remember everybody killed David De Gea, and rightfully so, and they also killed Ole. But thinking back on it now, Ole days are probably probably the best times we've had since Fergie left, and actually no, Jose Mourinho days are probably the best times we've had because we won we won the Europa League, we also won the FA Cup. I think we won I'm not sure. I think we won the Carabao Cup as well in that same year. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure we won 3 trophies under Jose Mourinho. But at the moment, obviously some fans are still hammering him in, and some fans will be hammering him out. But in my opinion, I don't think he's given me enough evidence that he's going to turn things around at Old Trafford. Like I don't think he's going to get fired. And I also see that Amarin keeps threatening to walk out. Why are you threatening to walk out? If you really want to walk out, just walk out. Stop being a coward. It shows the type of character that he is, that he's threatening to walk out after every bad result. Like that's not a leader. A leader doesn't do that after every bad result. Like that's like a parent when a child is bold, you just want to abandon your child every time a child is bold. Like that's you're a manager of a team. You're supposed to be the leader. Why are you threatening to walk out every single time you get a bad result? Like other players in the dressing room are going to look at that. They're going to laugh at him. They're going to be taking the piss out of him. Like it's just every single time. I feel like I want to walk out. If they don't think I'm good enough, I'm going to walk. Like if you feel that way, just walk out. Like no one's stopping you. Like you're a grown man. Like that just shows the type of character that he is, and I'm very disappointed because I felt he was going to be successful in Man United. That's all my rant for today. Obviously still disappointed from yesterday, but it is what it is. Hopefully summertime we spend a little bit of money. I can see us selling Garnacho, and I can also see us selling Manu, which for me is absolutely terrible because they're probably our 2 best academy products in the last couple of years, and we're going to sell them because they don't fit the manager system or the manager doesn't like them. But if we do sell them, we'll probably get more money along with Rashford as well. We can use them to reinvest in the team. So as always, if you enjoy my content, don't forget to click on the subscribe button. And if you want to have a conversation or debate about anything, make sure to leave a comment. I'm always open to discussion about football. Thank you very much.